Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the Thunderstruck SamAllyCo Late Model Series. Tonight, these late models will be taking on the historic North Wilkesboro Speedway for 100 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight. My name is Atlee Atman-Weiss, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's coverage here. Going to be watching some awesome white-knuckle short track racing tonight. And this is the season opener for this series. I'm sure many of you who have been with us here at Intensity Broadcasting for a long time are familiar with Thunderstruck, and you may have seen their Super Late Model Series and also their Legend Series. But this is the first time that Thunderstruck has ever ran the late models, so this is the first event, or at least for their main Thursday night series. They have done little off-season series and Monday night late model series, but that has never been their flagship Thursday night series, so excited to see that tonight. We've got 20 competitive late models out here at North Wilkesboro, and I'm excited to see everybody take on this track. Right now in practice, Dylan Bates on the top of the board with a 19.10. Then it's Eric Tracy, followed by Zachary Onan. Fourth is Josh Oswald, and running at your top five, 300ths off of Dylan Bates. That is Rick Rube. Look at the times. The top 10, they're separated by 700ths of a second for best practice time. So this is going to be a very competitive field. I'm seeing a lot of parity so far here in practice. I want to give a big thank you to series sponsor SamAllyCo for sponsoring this late model series. SamAllyCo is where art and expression comes to life. They have home decor and accessories. It's an Etsy store. So if you are interested, they've got a lot of so you can step inside their curated collection of artful home decor and accessories designed to add personality and spark conversation in your everyday life. They believe that decor and accessories should be a reflection of you, filled with pieces that tell your story and inspire joy. So go and visit their Etsy store and browse a vast collection of unique and expressive items. You can use promo code ATMAN10 to get 10% off your order if you use that promo code on SamAllyCo.com. So thank you so much to them for sponsoring this late model series. Definitely go check out the Etsy store if you are looking for any cool home decor or accessory items. So in the chat says, let's go Gertis. Right now, Mason sitting 8th on the board with a 19.15. 400ths off of Dylan Bates. So we are getting ready for qualifying here. Drivers getting everything dialed in for the last time before we start qualifying. We'll say this, no drivers will miss the feature. All 20 drivers will make the main unless we get a 21st join here in the next 5 seconds. But I believe, yep, as it wraps up, we will have 20 drivers, so everybody will make the main. I'm sure everybody will be happy about that. So as it wraps up, Dylan Bates on the top of the board here in practice, 19.10. All right, qualifying beginning here. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. And that will determine where they will start on the grid. Top 15 advance to the feature. And then the rest of the 5 will be running in the heat race. All of them will advance to the feature, but it'll just be kind of sort of an extra practice, and just it'll give these drivers an opportunity to run a race before the actual race, give them a little bit of practice with that. All right, qualifying underway. Got drivers hitting the track. There's Brennan Coulter in that number 19 machine on his first lap. Let's see where he can put it on the board. And Alex Veith There we go. Anthony Monroe will go to the... Oh, it's all everybody getting their times in. Josh Oswald will go to the top of the board with a 19.19. Jake Boehm sits second with a 19.20. And Mason Gertis. And then we see Sam Wetstein to the top of the board with a 19.11. That will put him 400ths ahead of Gertis. Third is Jesse Stroll. Fourth is Jake Boehm. And rounding out your top 5, that is Josh Oswald. Looks like second place driver Gertis does not improve on his second lap. So that means that Sam Wetstein continues to sit in that pole position. And as I say that, Eric Tracy jumps to the top of the board with a 19.07. Zachary Onan to third with a 19.11. That knocks Gertis out of the top 3 to fourth. Jesse Stroll in fifth. John Bennett to the fourth place spot with a 19.14. So that will knock Gertis down to the fifth place position. This is definitely a driver to watch out here to put it on the pole. That's Tyler Rice out of Cherokee, Oklahoma. Always a competitive driver, no matter what car here in Thunderstruck. Let's see what he can do here in qualifying. And he gets to 9th on his first lap. Josh Cole up to second on the board with a 19.08. Came down to the thousandth of a second to determine who would be on the pole, Eric Tracy or Josh Cole, and it went to Tracy. Rick Rube, who we were watching there, he gets up to 7th with a 19.17. That is insane. Top 10, only separated by a 10th. This is going to be a very competitive race. And looks like we will have somebody going home. We did have a 21st driver just join. That is Kieran Church. So 21 drivers currently in the field tonight. So one driver will go home after this heat race. So right now, Anthony Monroe is the final driver in the main. Alex Veith is the first driver out of it. Kieran Church runs a 19.53 on his first lap. Will he improve on lap number 2? Yes, he does, to a 19.22. That puts him to 14th, and that knocks Anthony Monroe out of the top 15. So he will have to race his way in through the heat race. Continuing to stay out there, that is Kieran Church. Even after you have completed both of your qualifying laps, you can continue to stay out there and turn more laps. It just won't count towards your qualifying time. So that looks like that's what Church is doing, getting in some extra practice time there. Dylan Bates was fastest in practice. He is on track right now. Comes off of turn number 2. I don't know if this is his first or second lap. But there's Kieran Church and Dylan Bates to the top of the board with a 19.06. Came down to the thousandth of a second to determine who would be put on the pole, whether it was Bates or Tracy. And iRacing will give it to Bates. What a time for the 91 machine. And that is exactly what he wanted to turn there. So that will wrap up qualifying. Now here is your heat race. We've got 6 cars. Top 5 will advance to the feature. One driver will be going home. Let's look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 19.275. That is the 19 of Brennan Coulter. Second will be Monroe Motorsports' Anthony Monroe in the 82. In third, that is the 51 Dark Horse Motorsports driver of Alex Veith. Fourth is Dark Horse Motorsports' Mike Veith in the 9. And then rounding out your top 5, that is Aaron Ward in the 99. And last but most certainly not least, that is Velocity Motorsports' Shannon Wilder in the number 10. So looks like Shannon Wilder did not go to the grid. So every driver on track will be advancing to the main. So this will, like I mentioned earlier, just kind of serve as a practice for them under race conditions. And some bragging rights if you can get that heat race win. Pretty cool. We got father-son running in this heat race. Mike and Alex Veith. Mike starting in 3rd. Alex starting in 5th. So here we go. Brennan Coulter restarting on the bottom, or starting on the bottom. Anthony Monroe starting on the top. "20 laps is the distance." Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Brennan Coulter leads the field into turns 1 and 2. He is already able to get clear over Anthony Monroe as they take it off of turn number 1. But Monroe goes high, trying to get to that right rear of the 19. He continues to run up there. He's now to his door. They are almost equal, heading off of turn number 4. Almost make contact there. We see the 82 a little bit out of sorts off of turn number 4. So that will get the 19 of Coulter clear over Anthony Monroe. So now Monroe staying right on Coulter's back bumper, trying to set up a pass here. But we see Coulter trying to extend that gap. He pushes up a little bit off of turn number 4. Last time by, we saw Monroe run the fastest lap from the race with a 19.34 all over the back bumper of that 19. We see right now he is trying to arc the corner so he can get lower off and try to get underneath that 19. Last time by, though, we saw Coulter was 0.2 faster than the 82. And looks like he is continuing to try to extend that gap. You can see that Monroe is definitely getting lower off the corner. And that time by, he ran the fastest lap from the race with a 19.29. But so far, it's looked like that the main issue for that 82 in his pursuit of that 19 is the fact that he isn't consistent. We'll see what the lap times look here. It goes from a 19.29 to a 19.45, so he fell off 0.2 there, while we see Coulter improves to a 19.29. And that's the key, if you're trying to get by somebody, is you need to be consistently quick. Again, we see Coulter a 10th faster than Monroe there. Elsewhere in the field, we see Mike Veith currently running in that 3rd place spot. 4th is Alex Veith. And then we see Aaron Ward just sitting on pit road in 5th. Way up the track goes Anthony Monroe. That will definitely not help his lap times for sure. So we see right now Monroe just trying to set up some sort of pass. I mean, he hasn't let Coulter get too far ahead. Now, it would be beneficial to win this race because whoever wins it will have... Oh, getting loose off of 2. That is Brennan Coulter into the inside wall. Caution is out. So that will bring out the first caution of the heat race. Take a look at exactly what happened. We're watching Brennan Coulter head into turns 3 and 4. And we see he already looks a little bit loose there. He gets down onto the apron, and that causes the car to push way up. And at this point, you're fighting, you're tugging on that wheel to try to keep it from pushing up into the wall. That gets the car upset. You're also up there in the marbles. All of that adds up. And we see Coulter is around and hard into the inside wall. We see some significant right side damage for that 19. He is into pit road right now. Probably going to take a fast repair here. So that will give the race lead over to Anthony Monroe. Second now is Mike Veith. And with Brennan Coulter coming in, he runs in third. Looks like he will take a fast repair. So that gets rid of all of that damage that he acquired after tagging that inside wall. And he will rejoin the field in the third place spot. But like I was saying before we saw Coulter go around, getting that first place spot here in the heat race is beneficial because it can give you the most track position of anyone here in this heat race. I mean, starting 16th compared to starting 20th is a little bit of an advantage because you just have that much more track position than the other person. And here in short track racing, I mean, track position, very key for sure. So right now, Anthony Monroe says, hey, I have the lead. I'm going to try to hang on to it because I want that track position when it comes time for the feature event here. And he's going to try to hang on to it as we get ready to restart. 6 to go. We're going to have a nice 6-lap shootout for the win. Anthony Monroe restarting on the bottom. Mike Veith on the top. Brennan Coulter in third. Has that car fixed. He was running in the lead when he spun out. So we know he has speed. But can he get by both Veith and Monroe? That is the question. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air. Here's Anthony Monroe up through the gears, heading into 1 and 2. Coulter trying to make it by Mike Veith on the bottom. He's got the nose through the center of the corner, and he clears him up off. So now Brennan Coulter setting his sights on Anthony Monroe for this race lead. He will have 5 laps to try to reel him in. And we see there after that last lap, Monroe was 0.2 faster, but remember, Coulter was passing Mike Veith. But we see Coulter keeps pushing way up on corner exit, and that is definitely hurting him for sure. That time by, they ran pretty much identical lap times. We see Alex Veith getting close to the back bumper there of Brennan Coulter. If Coulter wants to try to get up to that lead, he needs to pick it up now, because last time by, he was a 10th slower than Anthony Monroe. So we'll see what he can do here. There we go, 0.2 faster that time by. He greatly closes the gap. But will it be enough? Yeah, I don't know if he can catch him here as we approach white flag here. White flag is in the air. One more lap for Anthony Monroe to win the heat race and punch his ticket to starting 16th. Top 5 will advance, so Shannon Wilder will be going home. He did not grid for this heat race. One last push there through 3 and 4 to try to get up to him, but to no avail. Anthony Monroe is your heat race winner. Brennan Coulter will finish second. Mike Veith finishes third. Alex Veith will take fourth. And rounding out your top 5, that is Aaron Ward. So they will start 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th respectively. So we are going to have another 2-minute warm-up just to give these drivers one more opportunity to get everything dialed in before we officially begin our feature event. So we'll see these drivers applying everything they've learned from the first practice, from the qualifying, and for those of the drivers in the heat race, they're going to be applying all that here to this warm-up to get everything dialed in for the final time before we grid for the feature event. And I mean, coming in to the feature, it's definitely looking like Dylan Bates is going to be the driver to beat, but I mean, the entire field very close together. I think it's going to be a very competitive race. I'm not guaranteeing any of the finishing positions. There's no, of course, Dylan Bates is the favorite, but I mean, anybody could finish in the top 5, I think. It's just going to be how it all shakes out in the end. Let me know in the chat who you're rooting for. Who is your pick to win tonight here in this season opener? Love to hear from you. Make sure to share the stream on whatever platform you're watching on. That'd be greatly appreciated because it helps give exposure to the league, the drivers, and the sponsors. And it helps us out a ton to gain new viewership. So looks like right now on the top of the board, Rick Rube is your leader in the warm-up. Definitely another driver to keep your eye out on. Second is Sam Wetstein. I like his chances for sure. He looked very good in practice and qualifying. So we will see how it all shakes out. All right, here we go. We are gridding for your feature event. Let's take a look at the starting lineup to see exactly where your favorite driver will be starting on the pole with a 19.061 and the number 91. That is Dylan Bates. Outside of him in second, that's Eric Tracy in the 66. Third driver for Cole World Racing is Josh Cole in the 224. Fourth is the 98 Velocity Motorsports driver Sam Wetstein. And rounding out your top 5, that is Zachary Onan in the 42. Sixth is John Bennett in the 08. Seventh is the 22 Atlee Weiss Racing driver of Mason Gertis. Eighth is Rick Rube in the 81. Ninth is the 85 of Jesse Stroll. And rounding out your top 10, that is Jake Boehm in the 18. 11th is Velocity Motorsports' Josh Oswald in the 17. 12th is the 6 Oval Addicts driver of Tyler Rice. 13th is Chris Reese, driver for Highside Racing in the 62. 14th is the 3 of Jason Lottridge, and rounding out your top 5, that is Velocity Motorsports' Kieran Church in the 22. 16th is the 82 of Anthony Monroe. 17th is Brennan Coulter in the 19. 18th is Dark Horse Motorsports' Mike Veith in the 9. 19th is the 51 Dark Horse Motorsports driver of Alex Veith. And last but not least, in 20th, that is the 99 of Aaron Ward. All right. The field is set, getting ready to go green. 100 laps is the distance, the season opener. A fresh start for all of these Thunderstruck drivers. I'm sure all of them want to start off this season with some momentum, with a race win. Who will get it? We'll find out here after 100 laps. So Dylan Bates starting on the bottom. Eric Tracy on the top, again behind them. That is Josh Cole, Sam Wetstein, and then Zachary Onan. Pace car is in. Green flag is out, and Dylan Bates leads the field to green in the Thunderstruck SamAllyCo Late Model Series season opener. We see Bates already able to get clear over the 66 of Josh Cole. We see over Eric Tracy. Josh Cole tucks in line in third. Sam Wetstein in fourth. And Sam Wetstein into the back bumper. We have a major stack up in turns 1 and 2. Cars bouncing off of each other. And that will bring out the first caution of the race. Wow. What a crazy way to start tonight's event. Let's take a look at exactly what happened there. So we're watching Sam Wetstein drives it in hard into 3. And I don't know if he got into the corner hot or if Josh Cole kind of slowed up a little bit much there into the corner. But we see Wettstein hard into the back bumper of Josh Cole. That sends him up the track, and that causes Wettstein to check up. The 42 gets into his back bumper, and then we see Wettstein, he blinks out there. But that gave some drivers some much-needed track position. We see Mason Gerdes moves up to 3rd, Jesse Stroll up to 4th, Rick Rube up to 5th. That really shook up the juice bottle for sure. So right now, Dylan Bates remains your race leader, your top 2, exactly how we started this race. But then everything has changed from 3rd place Mason Gerdes on back. So let's quickly talk about the track that we are at tonight. And that, of course, is North Wilkesboro Speedway. The dream of North Wilkesboro Speedway began in the mid-1940s when Enid Staley found inspiration in a stock car race that Bill France had promoted in South Carolina before the formation of NASCAR. The story goes that Staley and his partners ran out of money to create their perfect oval, leaving the track with an uphill slope on the backstretch and a downhill slope to the finish. Such was born one of the most unique short tracks in NASCAR history, a .625-mile oval that hosted the Premier Cup Series twice a year until 1996. The track here on iRacing is in its 1987 state. Of course, we have seen North Wilkesboro return back to NASCAR with the Tyson 250 in the Truck Series, and of course the NASCAR All-Star Race for the Cup Series. Getting ready to go back green here. Dylan Bates restarting on the bottom. Eric Trace on the top. Behind them, that's Mason Gerdes, Jesse Stroll, and Josh Cole. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. Here's Dylan Bates up to the gears. Great restart for that 91. Able to get clear over Eric Tracy side by side for 3rd between Stroll and Gerdes. Great run on the outside for Stroll. He gets clear of Gerdes, and now he is fighting for the 2nd place spot, trying to get by Eric Tracy here. He is to the quarter panel, now to the door. They're equal, making great ground on the outside. That is Jesse Stroll. And we see way up the track goes Dylan Bates. Stroll makes it 3 wide. Tracy with the lead on the bottom. He gets clear. What is up with Dylan Bates? Way slow on the outside lane. Here comes Stroll trying to get by Eric Tracy on that outside lane. Look at that. And Jesse Stroll has gone from the outside in, what was it, 5th? All the way up to the lead here. Very impressive. I'd love to talk to him about that. That was very interesting. And look at Josh Cole making passes on the outside here. He gets up to that 2nd place spot. I don't know if Bates and Tracy are trying to save here early on. I don't know. We got a caution flag out here on the track, 2nd of the night. Let's take a look at exactly what happened here. Oh. So we are watching Tyler Rice here. He's got John Bennett behind him. We see Bennett just gets into the back bumper of that 6, sending him sideways. See the 22 of Kieran Church able to squeak through, but oh, Anthony Monroe. Sam Wettstein is involved. Mike Veith involved. So Jesse Stroll currently your race leader. Josh Cole to 2nd. Eric Tracy to 3rd. Jake Bohm 4th. And rounding out your top 5, that is Rick Rube. We see ABTW on YouTube says, Mason, Right now, Mason running in that 6th place position. Just outside of the top 5. Trying to get back in it here on the next restart. He will be on the outside 3rd row. But yeah, very interesting to see the amount of momentum that some of those guys on the outside had, like Jesse Stroll and Josh Cole, and the drivers that they were able to get by, Eric Tracy and Dylan Bates. I definitely think that they could be potentially trying to save right now and kind of run mid to the back of the pack. And then when it gets, 25 laps to go, or maybe 20 laps to go, they might hit the loud pedal and just try to get back up to the field and hopefully have fresh enough tires to make it worth their while. Because this is a 100 lapper. That's a lot on these tires for these late models. Especially here at North Wilkesboro, which has a very rough surface that does kind of tear up these tires a little bit. But yeah, the caution flag coming out. We saw Bennett just got back into the back bumper of Tyler Rice. Very similar to the incident we saw for our first caution. But we are getting ready to go back green here. Jesse Stroll restarting on the bottom. Josh Cole on the top. Behind them, that's Eric Tracy. Then the 18 of Jake Bohm. And then Rick Rube rounding out your top 5. So far, a very eventful race. A lot of movers and shakers up and down through the field. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air, and Jesse Stroll leads the field into 1 and 2. Here comes Eric Tracy on the bottom, side by side with Cole. We see Cole has the nose on the outside as they take it off of turn number 2. He is able to get clear. Here comes Jake Bohm now on the outside. He's got the nose over Tracy, and it looks like still that outside has a lot of momentum right now. Bohm trying his best to get clear. He's almost there. Nice run off of turn number 2. And there we go. Bohm able to get clear now. That knocks Tracy down to 4th. We see Josh Cole trying to get by Jesse Stroll for this race lead right now. Last time by, Jesse Stroll ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 19.23. But he has got a purple race car filling up that rear view mirror right now, and as I say, that caution flag is out. So let's see what happened here. We're watching the 19 of Brennan Coulter, just sends it down to the bottom of the track there in turns 1 and 2. And he just pushes up right into Jason Lottridge. That sends both of them sideways. Monroe gets into the 19. Looks like Mike Veith is able to go high above all this. The rest of the field is able to too. So that's what puts us under our 3rd caution of the race. There's Sam Wetstein getting back onto the lead lap. So now the driver with the lucky dog is Tyler Rice. So if we see another caution flag come out, he will get back onto the lead lap. And of course, we are running these late models. These are the exact late models that the now ZMAX Cars Tour runs. The late models were updated either last year or early this year. And iRacing has done a great job with these new late models. A blast to drive. I've run a few races here with these Thunderstruck guys, and they're a lot of fun. I ran a charity race here at North Wilkesboro. That was a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see. Again, this is the first time that the Thursday night series has ever been just normal late models. It's always been either supers or legends. So this is a new adventure for a lot of these drivers who have been used to running the supers or the legends. And so far, it looks like it's been a great addition. We've seen how competitive it has made the field. I like what I'm seeing so far with the racing. So lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back green here. Jesse Stroll restarting on the bottom. Josh Cole restarting on the top behind them. That is Jake Boehm. Then Eric Tracy. And rounding out your top 5, that is Rick Rube. And green flag is back out. Here comes that big field of late models heading into 1 and 2. We see Jake Boehm. Big run on the inside. He's got the nose over Josh Cole as they take it off of turn number 2. They're practically equal, side by side, door to door, as we head here through 3 and 4. Jake Boehm, though, nice run off the corner. He gets a little bit more of a nose over that 9 machine. Then we see Eric Tracy trying to follow behind the 18 while he has Josh Cole caught up on that outside. Tracy's going to dive down there to the inside through 3 and 4. And yes, he is underneath him, Tracy to the door. Now he's got a nice run on the bottom, looking to try to get clear as we head into 1 and 2. Yes, he is able to. Now Rick Rube underneath the 9 machine. They're side by side off of turn number 2. The floodgates opening for Josh Cole right now. Oh, looks like they made a little bit of contact on the backstretch. That cost the 81 some momentum, and the 9 is able to get down, so Josh Cole currently running in that 4th place spot. Eric Tracy trying to set up Jake Boehm right now for that 2nd place spot. He looks inside, heading into 3 and 4, trying to set something up. But right now, so far, he is to no avail. There we go, lower off the corner than Jake Boehm. He's able to get underneath him to the rear quarter panel. They are side by side off of turn number 4. And they remain door to door as we head through 1 and 2 here. Right behind them, ready to pounce. That is Josh Cole and Rick Rube. And Eric Tracy with the nose. Oh, almost got into the 085 there of Jesse Stroll. He was right there. And they are just, wow. Neither driver in this battle here for second giving one another an inch, but a nice run off of turn number 2 gives Tracy the nose heading into 1 and 2. But then we just see Boehm just comes right back on that outside. And the advantage of running on that outside is the fact that you have that arc a little bit more into the corner. If you're running on the inside, you have to enter in a little bit lower than you normally enter. And that means that you have to use a little bit more brake, and that gets the car kind of tight. And there we go. Jake Boehm able to clear Eric Tracy from the outside, so that knocks Tracy down to 3rd. But he's staying right with Boehm, looking to try to get that 2nd place position back. Yeah, he is all over the back bumper, just looking to see what Boehm's doing, where he's, what line he's running, where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's maybe making a mistake that will expose that bottom, which is kind of what you're looking for. And look at that, Jake Boehm is starting to reel in Jesse Stroll for this race lead. So he is going to have to start playing offense and defense now here. Battle on two fronts. Still, the main battle is the fact that he needs to hold off this hard-charging number 66. And that 18, he's running a good line. We see Tracy able to get a little bit lower off of the corner. And again, we see Jake Boehm. He's right there behind the 085. There goes Tracy diving it down into 3 and 4. They are once again side by side with Tracy on the inside, Boehm on the outside. And like we saw when these two were side by side previously, neither driver is giving one another an inch right now. Yeah, they door each other off of turn number 4. Tracy just trying to get that 18 up the racetrack so he can have a little bit more momentum. They door each other again off of turn number 2. This is getting very dicey right now for this second place spot. And we'll resume this on this next restart because we have a caution flag out. And looks like the rough day for Kiernan Church continues. So here we see the 22 into turns 1 and 2. He's got Josh Oswald behind him. And we see Oswald just gets into his back bumper, does not hit him square. That gets that 22 upset. Into the grass he goes. Looks like nobody else really involved in that one. So that will cause Kiernan Church to fall down. It's at 18th in the field. There's Tyler Rice getting his lap back. Let's talk a little bit about the cars we are racing tonight, these late model stocks. Like I said, used in series like the Z-Max Cars late model stock touring throughout the Carolinas. The late model stock car is an important step in the career of many stock car racing's top stars. The names that have progressed through the series on the way to national level glory range from current NASCAR Xfinity Series frontrunners like Josh Berry, Sam Mayer, and Myatt Snyder to NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series drivers like Haley Deegan and Christian Eckes, and even 2023 NASCAR Cup Series rookie Ty Gibbs. The late model stock car is powered by a 350 cubic inch engine. Both crate and custom engines are available that produces well over 400 horsepower. Fiberglass body panels help keep the car on the lighter side, but are still durable enough to take on the full contact nature of short track racing. Late model stock car racing puts on some of the best shows in short track racing anywhere it goes, and the Z-Max Car Store takes them to many of iRacing's most popular short tracks, including Southern National Motorsports Park, Hickory Motor Speedway, Langley Speedway, South Boston Speedway, and North Wilkesboro Speedway. I've had the pleasure to watch many different, whether it was local racing or car store races with these late model stocks. They put on a heck of a show. They are bad to the bone race cars for sure. And like I said, you know, they are great stepping stones for any racer's career. And I would say before you get to ARCA and the Truck Series, the car store is definitely that next step before that to get your name out there and show your stuff to the team owners of the upper classes. Getting ready to go back green. Jesse Stroll restarting on the bottom. Jake Boehm on the top. Behind them, that's Eric Tracy, Rick Rube, and Josh Cole. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. And Jesse Stroll brings the field into turns 1 and 2. He's able to get clear over Jake Bohm. Side by side for third, we got Eric Tracy with the nose over Rick Rube as we take it off of turn number 2. They remain door to door as we head through turns 3 and 4. We see Eric Tracy really close to the back bumper of Jake Bohm. And here's Josh Cole. Looks like he's trying to follow behind Eric Tracy to keep Rick Rube up on that outside lane. Right now, Rick Rube not giving an inch up there. Still remaining on that right rear of Eric Tracy. And Josh Cole just continuing to try to run underneath that 81 to keep him up there. And there we go, finally off of... No, not quite yet. Rick Rube still on that right rear. We've seen a lot of drivers be able to make that outside work. And there we go, finally there off of turn number 4. Eric Tracy able to get clear over Rick Rube. Now Josh Cole dives down to the bottom, trying to get by that 81 as we head through turns 1 and 2. But we saw the 9 push up a little bit through the corner. He had a little bit of a lower entry, and that cost him some exit speed. So we see Rick Rube able to get clear of Josh Cole now. Jake Bohm trying to set up a pass for the lead here on your leader, Jesse Stroll. We've officially hit the halfway point of this race. 50 laps down, 50 more to go. And the battle is definitely on for the lead right now. We see Bohm diving it down into the corner, trying to get underneath that left rear of Jesse Stroll. And Eric Tracy says, hey, I want to join the party too. So now this 66 will be playing a factor in this battle. And oh, we see Jake Bohm gets way loose off of turn number 4. That costs him some momentum, and that allows Eric Tracy to get closer to the back bumper of that 18. Oh, a little bit into the wall there for Eric Tracy. Just might have gotten a little bit high off of turn number 4. Like I said, Tracy just trying to find that struggle spot for Bohm. Where is he giving up the bottom? And that's where Tracy is going to want to try to make that pass. But still, you don't want to push the issue too much because it's still earlier on in this race and you don't want to tear up those tires. But there we see Eric Tracy diving it down into 3 and 4. He is underneath Jake Bohm now for this second place spot. They're door to door as they cross the start-finish line. He finally was able to get underneath them, and he picked entry as that good spot where he could get underneath that 18 cleanly. But looks like Bohm has some good momentum on that outside. Oh, they door each other a little bit off of turn number 2 there. And that allows Rick Rube to catch up to this. We see Zachary Onan is there as well. The field extremely tight with each other right now. And one driver who was loving seeing this, that is Jesse Stroll, because with everybody battling it out behind him, that allows him to kind of extend that gap because they're running slower lap times. Jesse Stroll definitely happy that he has kind of control of this race right now, that he has control over the pace of it. We got a side-by-side battle for 4th right now. Rick Rube, and we have Zachary Onan underneath him. He's got the nose off of turn number 4. Great run on the bottom. It is that preferred groove. We see Dylan Bates trying to... Oh, caution flag is out. So we'll take a look at what happened here. It looks like we're watching your heat race winner, Anthony Monroe. Here he is heading into turns 1 and 2. And you can see that he already looks very loose on entry there. And you see that car just comes out from underneath him. He loses it. He loses it. Now he's into the grass. And everybody behind him is hoping that he kind of stays down there. But he goes back up onto the track. Looks like that was actually not the caution. But yeah, you can see how loose that 82 is. Yep, he finally loses it there in turns 1 and 2. All right. So with 63 laps in the books, Jesse Stroll remains your race leader. I want to talk one more time about our series sponsor, SamAllyCo. SamAllyCo is where art and expression comes to life. Step inside their curated collection of artful home decor and accessories designed to add personality and spark conversation in your everyday life. They believe that decor and accessories should be a reflection of you, filled with pieces that tell your story and inspire joy. You can visit their Etsy store. The link is in the description, and browse a vast collection of unique and expressive items. If you use promo code ATMAN10, you can get 10% off of your order from SamAllyCo. So thank you so much to them for sponsoring the late model series. Definitely go check out their Etsy store. All right, Jesse Stroll restarting on the bottom. Jake Boehm on the top behind them. That's Eric Tracy, Zachary Onan, and Rick Rube. Green flag is out, and Jesse Stroll, we see blinks out there. There we go, he's back in. We got a side-by-side battle for a second. Here comes Eric Tracy on the bottom. These two are resuming their side-by-side racing that they've been doing. Nice run on the bottom for Tracy. He is able to get clear, and now the battle is on for third. Zachary Onan and Jake Boehm duking it out. They remain door-to-door off of turn number 2. Boehm with a little bit of a nose. He's been able to make the outside work tonight. Pushes up a little bit loose there, having to fight it off of turn number 4. That costs him some momentum. And we see Zachary Onan almost clear, yet he is able to get clear over that 18 machine. So now Dylan Bates following behind him on the bottom. And this is exactly what Boehm hoped would not happen. The floodgates are opening for him. As I say that, he is able to tuck in line in 5th, and he tries to look back low underneath the 91. Almost gets into his left rear there. That was close. So everybody tucked in line now. So Jesse Stroll right now leading the way, but he's got Eric Tracy very close behind him, giving him pressure for this race lead. Side by side for second. Onan able to get underneath Tracy. They're door-to-door on the front stretch with Dylan Bates right behind them. Bates is going to try to follow behind Onan here on the bottom. They remain door-to-door here through 3 and 4. We've had some really good side-by-side racing here at North Wilkesboro, and that really shows you how much of a multi-groove track this is. This is really fun to see. Really been enjoying this racing, because if you're up there on that high side, it's not immediately over. You're still able to hang on to your position, and that could lead to a potential photo finish with these drivers later in the race. But there we go. He pushes up the track now. That gives Zachary Onan that second place position. Now Bates running underneath that 66. They remain door-to-door off the corner, almost making contact there. Neither driver giving one another an inch, but the momentum is definitely on that bottom. Great run off the corner for Dylan Bates. And he is able to get into that third place position, knocking Eric Tracy down into fourth. But Tracy staying close behind Dylan Bates, not letting him get too far ahead. Elsewhere in the field, oh, caution flag is out just as we hit 25 laps to go. Let's see exactly what happened here. Looks like Tyler Rice has crashed. So here's Tyler Rice. Mason Gerda is running side by side. And looks like Cole hits the wall up in front of Tyler Rice. And he just has nowhere to go without coming down into Gerdes. And we see, I don't know if Chris Reese doesn't see this, but he's hard into the back bumper of Tyler Rice. That sends him sideways. And he backs into the wall there. See, Jason Doss on Facebook says, I'm the king at VAR. Talking about for iRacing? VAR is a fun track. I've ran there a time or two with like the GR86s. It's a fun little road course. And it's cool that it's free now. All right, so we are in the final quarter of this race, and time is running out for those who are saving tires. I'll tell you this right now, if you are saving tires, it is go time. It's time to get back up through the field. So drivers running from like 10th to 7th, like Alex Veith, John Bennett, Josh Oswald, Mason Gerdes, if these guys are saving, they need to hit the loud pedal and try to get their way back up to the field if they want to try to secure top 5, top 3 finisher, maybe even fight for that win. I'll be interested to see if we will have any of those drivers that I named. Veith, Bennett, Oswald, Gerdes finish in the top 5 when it all shakes out. Here we go, pace car's in. Green flag is back out. And Jesse Stroll up through the gears, leading the field into 1 and 2. Dylan Bates, Zachary Onan side by side. We see Onan with the nose on the outside. He is to the right rear of Jesse Stroll. Look at that 42 with some huge momentum up there. But we see Stroll, nice run off of turn number 4, able to get back clear over the 42. So the battle is now on for second. side by side between those two. Look at how tight the field is. This is some great racing for sure. They remain door-to-door through 3 and 4. Dylan Bates with the nose off of the corner. And he is able to get clear. Nice pass on the inside. So that knocks Zachary Onan down into 3rd. We have got a battle for 4th right now with Eric Tracy and Jake Boehm. Tracy, though, with a nice run on the outside. He's got the nose as we head off of turn number 4. Trying his best to get clear. Oh, getting way loose on entry there. That will cost the 18 a ton of momentum and give Eric Tracy that 4th place spot. We look now to the battle of the lead. Dylan Bates tracking down Jesse Stroll. And right behind Dylan Bates, that's Zachary Onan. So here's Bates looking low. He will dive it down into turns 3 and 4 for the race lead. They are side by side off of turn number 4. They bounce off each other. 16 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. As they head off the corner, Dylan Bates with the nose. They continue to door each other. Beaten fenders as we continue this great battle for the lead. Here comes Zachary Onan trying to follow behind Dylan Bates. Not quite done yet. Jesse Stroll trying his best to fight. He is laying on that right rear of the 91. Oh, 42 is around. Off of turn number 2. Caution flag is out. And that changes everything. Wow. That was a wild turn of events here. We're watching Zachary Onan. He's looking underneath this 085. Of Jesse Stroll. And we see he gets into the right rear of that 91. And that gets him up the track. And that gets him upset. And then we see the 42 checks up. Eric Tracy hard into the back bumper of the 42. I don't think he was expecting him to do that. And that gets Onan around. We see John Bennett sandwiched into the wall. Alex Veith hard into the 42. Sam Wetstein gets involved. So this is going to give us a shootout for the win here. Zachary Onan into the pits. Looks like he took a fast repair. Going to try to work his way back up to the field and salvage as much track position as he can. But that definitely hurt him, getting knocked out of the lead like that. Or getting knocked out of the top 3 like that, because any track position he had is gone. So Jesse Stroll, despite the side-by-side battle with Dylan Bates, he had the lead when the caution flag came out. So we are going to have a 9-lap shootout to decide this thing. Jesse Stroll restarting on the bottom. Then it's Dylan Bates on his outside. 3rd is Eric Tracy. 4th is John Bennett. And rounding out your top 5, that is Jake Boehm. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out. 9-lap shootout. Who will win this race? Dylan Bates and Jesse Stroll side by side. That time Bates got into his right rear a little bit there. But we see Jesse Stroll is able to get clear. But Bates is right on his back bumper at this stage of the race. Don't be surprised if somebody breaks out the chrome horn and bumps somebody out of their way to grab a position. So right now, Jesse Stroll looking in his mirror, looking in front of him. having to do both of those things. Dylan Bates will dive down into 3 and 4. He gets to that left rear of the 085. He's to the door. They door each other off of turn number 4 side by side as they cross the start-finish line. 7 laps to go now. This is for the lead and for potentially the win. Oh, 085 into the wall. They are roughing each other up, using each other up. Oh, Jesse Stroll into the back bumper of Dylan Bates. He gets him way up the racetrack. Now he is looking underneath him. Into turns 1 and 2. He turns him. Dylan Bates is sideways. Caution is out. Big wreck in 1 and 2. Wow. That was... wow. Short track racing at its finest right there. We're watching Jesse Stroll. He looks underneath Dylan Bates for this race lead. And he just drives it in extremely hard, it looks like. Does not hit the 91 square. And that gets Bates sideways. That gets Stroll sideways. Oh, we see a little bit of airtime for Eric Tracy. Rick Rube is around. Boehm is in the grass. That was wild. Now you could... yeah. Now I don't know if maybe... now the question is, I don't know if either Stroll drove it in really hard or if we saw the 91 of Dylan Bates get into the brakes a little bit more. But regardless, it just looked like Stroll did not hit him square when he got into that back bumper. And that definitely got him up, the car upset for sure. So now, Jesse Stroll, he is your race leader. John Bennett is in second with Jake Boehm in third. Josh Oswald in fourth. And rounding out your top 5, that is Kieran Church. A lot of messed up race cars now. So we're going to have a green-white checker to decide this thing. Jesse Stroll restarting on the bottom. John Bennett on the top behind them. That is Jake Boehm, Josh Oswald, Kieran Church. See Rick Rube, Mason Gertis, Sam Wetstein also there looking to try to break into the top 5. This is going to be fun to watch. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. Your green-white checker's underway. Oh, Jesse Stroll into the wall. Big pile-up on the front stretch. It's a traffic jam. Goodness gracious. That is... wow. Didn't really make it across the start-finish line before the carnage ensued. My, oh my. Has this been a wild one? So here we go. We're watching Jesse Stroll and John Bennett here on this restart. So there we see Stroll takes off, and we see John Bennett kind of turns down a little bit there. But then if you watch the right side of the 085, he goes up above that white line. I don't know, but he gets hooked there into that outside wall. We see Josh Oswald involved there. Wow. So now, after everything shakes out, Jake Boehm is in the lead now. Kieran Church is in second. Josh Oswald is in third. We have Mason Gerdes in fourth. And rounding out your top five, that is Sam Wetstein. This is crazy. Are you not entertained? This is short track racing at its finest, like I said before. What a way to start the season with some true white-knuckle short track racing. And it's not over yet. We still have 2 more attempts at a green-white checkered. We may use them both. All right, lights on the pace car off. We're getting ready to go back green. Again, Boehm on the bottom. Kieran Church on the top. Behind them, that's Josh Oswald, Mason Gerdes, and then Sam Wetstein. Mike Veith is in 6th. All right, let's try this green-white checkered again. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. There is Jake Boehm taking off. Great restart for Josh Oswald. He is looking to try to get underneath Kieran Church for this second place spot. He is to his left rear now. But we see Kieran Church able to get clear. Here comes Mason Gerdes on the outside. Kieran Church going for the race lead now. He is on Jake Boehm's back bumper. White flag is in the air. We've got wrecking, but that doesn't matter. We will stay green flag. Wait. The pace car is out. And so Jake Boehm will win it. I thought that the white flag had already came out. But Jake Boehm will get it done. What a race that was. Wow. And he is burning it down on his roof there. Wow. And it's carnage. It's carnage right now on the racetrack. Demolition Derby. All right. Let's get the results here up on your screen. If I can. There we go. There's your feature results right there. Look it over. See where your favorite driver finished. We're going to start off with our driver interviews. Let's talk to your third place finisher. Man from Lurie Station, Pennsylvania, number 17, Josh the Jet Oswald. Hey, Josh, this is Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you. How are you?
Doing good up here, and looks like you had a great way to end the night, bringing it home on the podium to start off the late model season. It was definitely a eventful race. I know we kind of saw you were running mid-pack there. You weren't really up in the top 5 there early on, and then towards later in the race, you started to get back up towards the front, and you were able to just get through a lot of the carnage there those last few laps, and you saw you restarted there in third place, and you were able to hang it on and hold off the 22 and bring it home in third. So just walk us through your race and how you managed to park it on the podium.
Oh, Well, I missed it in qualifying a little bit, but we were all so close. And, with lap time wise, it was a big difference. Not a big time difference between the pole and almost in the B main, but and then just trying to work up through in that early wreck, I got tagged and hit the pit wall and ripped the left front off. So once I was already at the back, that's when I decided that I was just going to sit and wait. I was just going to take my time and really try and make a good effort at saving my tires. And it really paid off towards the end. It was still getting a little slippery, but yeah, able to, somewhat avoid the messes. I was afraid I took a bunch of damage. I was afraid to take a bunch of damage there in that late wreck when the front two got together, but all in all, a solid day. Third place, good way to start the season.
Now, like you said, you said you were kind of right in there in the back saving tires. I mean, what is the key to saving tires here at North Wilkesboro?
Just trying to put as little steering wheel input as possible and just not charging the corner too hard or even getting back in the throttle too early. Just being real smooth and just letting momentum carry you around, because the more you're hammering on it off the corner, the more you're burning up the right rear, and the more the harder you drive in, you're gonna melt your right front off. So to make this set of tires last 100 laps, you got to do some saving, and it worked out tonight.
Now, before I let you go, is there any sponsors or shout outs?
Oh yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for taking care of the broadcast. Glad to be back and going again, and that you guys have the modifieds with Alex on Wednesdays, Velocity Motorsports, Candler Light, and all my teammates and everybody that helps keep Thunderstruck going, and all the drivers for showing up.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight. Have a great rest of your night, Josh.
Thanks, you too.
All right, we now have Kieran in the broadcast booth. Kieran, you got a copy?
I got you.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight. You were our biggest mover of the race. Started in 15th, barely made the feature without having to run in that heat race. And we saw early on, you were kind of in the rear towards the middle of the pack, kind of like Josh said. And towards the end, you started to hit that loud pedal, get up to the field. And like a lot of other people, you were able to avoid some of the mess there towards the end of the race. And you got up in there to the top three during that last green-white checkered. You were right on Jake's back bumper there at the end, but when that caution flag came out, you were still in that second place spot, but still great run. I mean, walk us through how you were able to just work your way up through the field and just continue to get that track position until the end of that race where, parked it in second there.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the track position that I was saving tire and trying to keep dissolved when Josh Oswald turned me, but it is what it is. I just like to give him some crap. But I was just kind of riding for a while there behind Bates and was just going to save tire and then knew when to go. And then when that happened, I kind of started moving up through the field a little bit, and then it was just dodging the crashes and being in the right spot at the right time. And I knew Jake was running hard up there with the leaders for the beginning of that race, so I knew I had better tires, and I wanted to try to get to the outside of him on that coming to the white flag, but unfortunately that caution flew somehow 3 cars past the line. But it's iRacing. It is what it is.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit confusing there when everybody had crossed the line and the pace car came out, but still definitely a good run for sure. Now, I noticed that a lot of drivers could make that outside work. That this kind of looked like a multi-groove racetrack tonight. Did you ever venture up to the outside and run some laps up there and made some passes?
Yeah, the outside was pretty good here. It usually is pretty good to. Sometimes it's not the best passing lane with these cars, but it's a good to where you can hold steady. But tonight it seemed like there was a decent passing lane up there, especially just depending on the restarts. The runs you can get off of 1 and 2 are great. 3 and 4. You can stabilize, but you made your time up mainly in 1 and 2 for that top side.
Now, before I let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys at Intensity for doing the broadcast. Always do a great job. Velocity Motorsports, Jet Designs, SamAllyCo for sponsoring the series, and a good win on the for Jake tonight. I know it was a battle for him, as you could tell from his car. So he battled for that win, and congrats.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up tonight, Kieran, and have a great rest of your night.
Yep, have a good one.
And now let's talk to your winner here. Parked it in victory lane tonight. Jake, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight, bringing it home in the season opener here at North Wilkesboro. And it definitely wasn't easy. We saw to start off the race, you had a great start on the outside. You made some passes up there and worked your way up into the top 3, running behind Jesse up there. And then after that, you were just having some great battles, side-by-side battles with Eric Tracy and Zachary Onan and everybody else up there. And still, you managed to stay up there throughout that entire race, and you were able to sneak right through when we saw the incident with Jesse and a lot of the field, and that gave you that lead, and you hung on to it there during that final green-white checkered. So just walk us through your race and how you managed to be able to stay in the top 5 for the entire race, and you were very racy, but you were still able to just have good tires there at the end.
Yeah, starting off beginning of the race, I was just trying to feel out the car because I didn't get to run any practice. I got on like 2-3 minutes before the race started, and yeah, like you said, I made some moves on the outside. The outside was there at the beginning of the race. It really came in towards the end. I just wanted to get ahead of the crash zone, like mid-pack, anywhere from 5th to 10th. And once I got up to 2nd, I was thinking about saving tires and letting Jesse burn his stuff up because he was driving really hard. And then I noticed Eric Tracy right behind me. He was giving me the works pretty much, probably lap 15 through 60, if I do say so myself. But yeah, no, I didn't want to let him get by because I knew there was a freak train of cars on the inside behind him. So whenever he did get a run, I did my best trying to keep him to the bottom of the track so he couldn't get that much momentum coming off the corners. So I was able to make the outside work just enough there. And then towards the end, I restarted 2nd to Jesse, and I got a real crappy start. Eric got a really good start, and then you had the freak train of Dylan Bates, Zachary Onan, and Johnny Bennett, which all of them were way, way faster than me because I killed my tires probably by lap 50. And I had nothing for those guys, but I knew I was about to drop back to 6th, and I forget. I think it was Rick Rube. I was running him pretty aggressively, trying to stay 5th for that restart, and boy did it pay off because I mean you saw Jesse Stroll pretty much took care of all the fast cars for me, so that made it pretty easy. And then once I started 1st, there was no way I was letting Kieran beat me on a restart. I haven't won in this league in probably over 2 years, so I wanted this one pretty bad.
Now, how much does a win early on in the season mean for the rest of the season? Like, how much does that momentum mean for the rest of these races?
It's huge. I mean, I think I'm the points leader. I'm tied with Johnny Bennett in the modifieds on the Wednesday night series, and I guess I'm 1st in the late models now too. So it means a lot. I don't know how much I can say that I'm going to run every week because I have a busy work life. I'm a lineman, and so overtime's unpredictable. But it's good to be up there in points to begin with, and I'm going to make as many shows as I can. Go from there.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, I got to thank Josh for putting this league together once again and giving us all something to do on our weeknights. Got to thank Velocity Motorsports. Got to thank Intensity. You guys are doing a great job, you and Alex. We appreciate you guys covering this for us. And, I got to thank all the guys in the field for running me clean. And I think I also probably should apologize to Eric Tracy because when that checkup happened with Jesse and I think it was Dylan Bates, I was right on his bumper. I had nowhere to go. My reaction time probably wasn't what it should have been. So I have to watch it back, see if that apology is warranted, but I feel like it might be. So sorry, Eric.
Well, again, congrats on the win to start off the season, and hopefully we might see a couple more throughout the rest of it. So again, congrats on the win. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Looking forward to it. You too.
All right. Well, that will do it for tonight's event. One more time, congratulations to Jake Boehm on the win. Also, congrats to Kieran Church, Josh Oswald with 3rd, and the rest of the field for a good race and for participating. I want to give a big thank you to all of the league admins, Daniel Pope, Josh Oswald, Sam Wetstein, Aaron Ward, Michael Swink, and Shannon Wilder and Jason Warren for all that they do for this league, helping it run smoothly. I want to give a big thank you to, again, SamAllyCo for sponsoring the series. Make sure to go check out the Etsy store. Link is in the description. You can use promo code ATMAN10. Get 10% off of your order. I want to give a big thank you. To everyone who tuned in to watch tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as that would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There you can find merchandise from your favorite broadcaster, your favorite drivers, your favorite leagues, and so much more. Make sure to turn your notification bell, because next week here in the Thunderstruck Late Model Series, we will be taking on Hickory Motor Speedway. You are not going to want to miss that, so turn your notification bell. Be here next Thursday. We'd love to have you back watching. I'm Atlee Atman-Weist on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.